I normally carry rings.
Symbolism.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
So, after your deck is cut, you will take your deck and you'll place it in your deck zone. And normally in a lot of games, you start off with 5 cards or even 7. In Powerline Ultra, you start with 6. So you're going to draw 6 from the top of your deck. And then you're going to examine your hand. Let's say that there are some cards that you don't want to use.
Okay.
But you are like, you know what? There's only one I really need to put away. It's best advised that you don't mulligan. Now, in Powerline Ultra, if you want to mulligan, which I will do this for educational purposes, you take all the cards that you were going to mulligan and you put them away from the game. You don't get to touch them. You didn't want them in the first place. Why not get to use them now?
All right.
And then, much like before, you will shuffle your deck and you'll offer your rival the deck to cut or to tie.
Well, we'll cut it again. Why not?
Excellent. And in every game of Powerline Ultra, you will start with 100 HP, or if you have like a character that once it's revealed, those values can change.
Okay.
So, I will draw my 6. Okay. 6. All right. And once the 6 cards are drawn, you and your rival get to decide who gets to go first. The player who actually goes second gets to have the active stage. In fighting games, you only get one stage to really fight in.
Yeah.
So you only get one.
Okay.
So I will leave it up to you. How do you want to go first, or do you want to go second, or would you like to roll for it?
We can just roll for it. Why not?
All right. Now, are you doing high or low?
We can do high. Why not?
All right. That is a 3. And that is a 1. You know what? For educational purposes, I will let you go second. So, we start by revealing the stage first.
Okay.
So the active stage is the scrapyards.
Okay.
All right. Now, sometimes some stages have abilities that once they're revealed or just passively throughout the game. In this instance, it's activated passively throughout the game.
Okay.
And then, now that the stage is revealed, you and your rival reveal your characters at the same time.
All right.
Which in this case, it's a mirror match. We're playing the same character, fetch.
Perfect.
Now, I am going first. Now, in the phases, there's the replenish phase. So if you have less than 6 cards in your hand, you draw from your deck until you have 6 cards in your hand.
Cool.
If you have 6 or more, you skip this step.
Okay.
Then you have the charge phase. So on the power gauge running over here, this is where you could take 1 card from your hand or 1 card in your attack discard pile and put it into your power gauge face up. So I will put in the scrapyard blade in my power gauge.
Okay.
Then we'll move over to the startup phase. Think of this like your first main phase in Yu-Gi-Oh! For instance. Seeing as we're using those analogies from earlier.
Yeah.
Let's see here. Alright. I will activate Fetch's fighter ability, so you would turn it to indicate its activation.
Okay.
Which in this case, once per turn, I may generate 1 scrapyard minion to any of my general, or rather basic utility zones.
Gotcha.
And at the, let's see right here, all scrapyard minions you control deal 3 damage directly to your rival at the end of your turn.
Okay.
So, you only get to activate character abilities once, unless they state otherwise. Next, I will activate the Scrapyard Scraper from my hand. Okay. So, this is a basic utility card. They will have lightning bolts right on over there, and will say basic.
Okay.
And much like just normal spell cards in Yu-Gi-Oh!, you would just apply the effect and resume with the rest of your turn. Okay. After the effects are resolved during your startup phase, they'll go to your general discard pile after it is done being used. So, I will use the secondary ability, which is you may discard this card to generate 1 scrapyard minion into a basic utility zone. Which, now I have 2 scrapyard minions. Now here's the thing, minions do not leave your field at all. And you only get 3 of these basic utility zones. So if you clog yourself, you remove yourself options, but you allow your utility to be stronger.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah. Let's see here. May I look at your stage?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Awesome. Okay. I almost forgot what it did. Whenever you and your rival are allowed to use the stage, as long as it is applicable to you. So let's say I'm using a different fighter, I theoretically can't use the stage because it indicates that fetch can activate its ability. Otherwise, if another way to tell, on the upper right corner, it tells you what character or affiliation, which is villain, hero, civilian, anti-hero, what have you, or your type, which in this case, we are cyborgs.
Right.
There's cyborgs, robots, aliens, kaijus, there's all kinds of stuff.
Nice.
Let's see. Now, normally I would move over to the attack phase, but for teaching purposes, I do not have a single attack card in my hand. So I'm just going to move over straight to the end phase.
Okay.
Now, Fetch's ability goes off. I have 2 Scrapyard minions on my field. It deal 3 damage for every Scrapyard minion I have on my field at my end turn. That is 6 damage dealt directly to you. So we'll take 100, subtract 6, and we are left with 94. Quick math. You didn't go unscathed this first turn.
Yeah. Perfect. All right.
And now it is your turn.
All right. And so it starts with
The replenish phase. So if you have 6 or more cards in your hand, you will skip this step.
Okay.
And now you're on the charge phase. So you can take any card in your hand or 1 card in your attack discard pile, and you may place it face up in the power gauge. This is optional. You do not have to do this, but it is best advised.
All right. So what is the power gauge for? Or is that
So
building
you
up
can
to?
use it for many things. So let's say you have 2 light, 2 medium, and 2 heavy. That gold card I was referring to earlier, your ultimate, you flip all those cards face down, you place it in your attack zone face up, and you apply its ability. The only way to negate those is if your opponent also has an ultimate and they remove theirs into the general discard pile. That is the only way to negate it.
And then putting into the power gauge is any card or
Any card in your hand. It is best advice to use an attack card because not a lot of cards use utility cards in your power gauge.
Yeah.
But in the second set, as well as the third set and so on and so forth, definitely use this a lot more heavily than the first set.
Yeah. All right. We'll do that one. I think.
All right.
Put that there. The power gauge.
And now we are on over to the startup phase. So your main phase in like Yu-Gi-Oh, for instance. You can do what I just did and tap your character to put in a Scrapyard minion if you want to.
That makes sense.
All right.
That makes sense to me.
I'll give you one of these.
And then I can play utility cards.
You can play basic utility cards, which have the lightning bolt right up there, as well as the word basic. Or you can attach yourself with an attachment utility card. I don't know if you have one in your hand.
I do.
But there is a card with like a sword.
With a plus sign?
Yep.
Yep. I
And
got one.
it will say you may attach this to a character or a stage zone. And it acts as an additional character ability that you can use in addition to your character ability.
Okay.
And you get
I
to
don't,
play
know
this
if
for
it's,
free.
I don't know if it's super useful, but
Oh, that's helpful.
right. Yeah. Looks interesting.
Yep.
We'll put that there. Play.
Now you get an additional ability, so I have one right over here to the side. You may discard 1 attack card, and if you do, you target one of your Scrapyard minions, and let's say I dealt damage to it instead of you. It gains HP equal to the value of the card you discarded. So let's say you would were to discard Scrapyard Blade, for instance. That's 2 HP gained.
All right. Now I have these utility counter cards. How does that work?
So they work similar to instances in Magic the Gathering. So you can play them at any time, but whenever it is your rival's turn, let's say I were to put a card down, you can put them in any of your basic utility zones. It does not matter what the card type is. So let's say it's a counter attack. You place it right down there. The reason for that being is during your cleanup phase, which we didn't get to in my last turn because we didn't get to, you would take any and all cards that are in your basic utility zones, and you would put them in your general discard pile.
Gotcha.
Anything in your attack zone, you put it over to your attack discard pile. Because in a fighting game, let's say you run out of cards. You would take whatever cards are in your attack discard pile, you would shuffle it, and that becomes your new deck.
Gotcha.
Because in a fighting game, you'll never stop having the ability to punch a guy.
Yeah, I wasn't sure if it was something I had to play now and have it on the board for, or if it's something I play when it needs to be used. So it sounds like when it needs to be used.
It's a bit of column A, column B. There's a lot of times where I find myself using it as like, okay, I really should dish out damage. Here we go.
Oh yeah. Okay. So let's go with I guess. So that was like the main phase. What was startup phase? Or?
The startup phase.
Startup phase.
Mhm.
And then we get into the attack phase, right? Okay.
Which you could take any of your red cards. You could play up to 3 per turn in your attack zone. And
Okay.
once you play it, you resolve all of its abilities or any other stage or fighter abilities that are or could possibly be applicable to it.
Gotcha.
We're not playing with fighters or stages that would be applicable, so you just play it raw dogging.
All right, well, we'll give it a try. We'll give it
All
a try
right.
here. So we got the heavy kick.
A
Let's
heavy
see what
kick.
happens here.
What I have is a response.
Uh-huh.
And I will play a counter utility back dash, which reduces the final damage of the current light or heavy attack by 10. Now, it would do 10 damage, but that 10 turns into a 0.
Yep, yep. And I don't
So-
have anything to go along with that, I don't think, so...
Okay, so we'll move over to the cleanup phase. So we'll take anything in our basic utility zones that are not minions and
Okay.
put them into the general discard pile. You don't have anything.
Discard, fine.
Anything in the attack? Yep,
There you
goes.
go.
Anything in the attack zone actually goes into the attack
attack discard.
discard pile.
Ah.
Yes.
All right. And then I think that's the end
That
phase.
is your turn,
And
yes.
So then this thing does the 3 damage.
Yep, it sure does.
Perfect.
So that leaves me with 97.
All right.
And now it is my turn. It is the replenish phase. I have 3 cards. I need to get up to 6, so I will
Okay.
draw 3. And I could take 1 card in my hand and put it to the power gauge, which I will do so. Oh, and one thing I almost completely forgot. So at the start of your turn, let's say you have if you have your character or your stage tapped, you untap it. And now with it being my startup phase, I will activate Fetch's ability. I now have 3 scrapyard minions on the field.
All
Now,
right.
this is great for me because yay, I have way to consistently do damage. However, I cannot play any basic utility cards. I cannot play any counter cards.
Yeah.
I'm kind of stuck in that sense. So I'm, in a sense, I'm kind of raw dogging everything now. Yeah, I'm set in not the most advantageous position. So what I will do instead is I'm going to risk it a little bit.
Okay.
Since my name is also Fetch, I'm allowed to use your stage ability.
Yeah.
Which says I may deal myself 20 damage, which I will,
Okay.
putting me at 77.
All right.
And if I do, all my minions, if they were to deal damage to you, cause engulf, which the yellow text explains what engulf does. It's
Yeah.
your reminder text.
Yeah.
So for every attack that you would put into your attack zone, or any card that you put in your attack zone in particular, you would lose 3 HP.
Okay.
And that is until the end of your turn. However, every time that you would be dealt damage in that way, in this instance, they're all dealing it to you. It's only one source at the same time.
Yeah.
So if you were to be affected by a status ability, which engulf is one of them, so there's engulf, there's paralyze,
Okay.
there's frighten, there's all kinds of ones. Instead of having to take those effects, you may discard 3 cards from your hand to your general discard pile to negate that ability. And at the same time, this sets you up for replenishing. Let's say, because if you have like a dull hand, that's one way to kind of clear out cards that you don't want to use right now.
Okay.
Which in this case, I will end my turn. I have 3 scrapyard minions. This will deal 3, 6, 9 damage. Do you wish to take that?
I think so. I don't know.
If you have 3 cards that you want to discard into your general discard pile to negate that specific ability, you can.
Oh, I can discard 3 cards and prevent being engulfed?
Yep,
Oh.
that's exactly right.
Okay. Sure, we'll try it. Why not? We'll discard these things.
All
There we go.
right, and you will still take that 9 damage. Yep.
So we go to 85. There we go.
All right, and it is your turn.
Alright, so untap this thing. Pull my 6 cards. 1, 2, 3.
Oh wow, you used all 6 of your cards. Nice.
4.
You got a full replenish.
Nice. 6. Okay, let's see here. And then I'm going to put something in the power gauge, right?
Mhm.
Okay.
You can use any card from your hand or 1 card from your attack zone, or attack discard pile rather.
Gotcha.
Words.
Right. Interesting. Well, I will discard that. Got rush down.
Okay.
And then
It is
I
now
guess
your
the
startup phase. Yep.
All right. So I'll tap fetch to put another scrapyard menu in play.
You got it.
All right. And then question about how scrapyard minions are identified here. So, if I was to place a scrapyard blade here, where it says destroy as many scrapyard minions from your field as possible, deal 2 damage to rival for each one removed by this ability. And if I destroy 2 or more, target 1 utility card on the field and destroy it.
Yep.
Are
So-
these considered
Yes,
utility
they
cards?
are.
All right.
So that's one way to start clearing out my scrapyard minions, or you can use your attack card. Instead of attacking me, you can attack one of my minions as well.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So let's give that a try here. We'll destroy my 2 scrapyard minions.
Okay.
There we go.
Thank you.
And then
And how many does it increase by? By 2?
yeah, by 2.
'Kay.
So there's a total of 6.
All right, so that is 6 damage. Are you attacking me or are you attacking one of my minions?
Well, they've got what, 25 HP. I think we'll just go for you with that. I
Okay.
think. And then I'll just target one of your scrapyard minions and destroy it.
All right.
And then for the attack phase, is it I only play the 1 attack card?
You
or
could play up to 3.
up to 3.
Because in a majority of fighting games, 3 hits is the start of any combo jump.
Yeah, we'll give this another.
All right, 4. I will take the 4.
All right. And then I remember you mentioned something about the attack discard pile. What was that?
So whenever during your charge phase, you may take any card from your hand, put it into your power gauge, or a card from your attack discard into your power gauge.
Okay.
Yep.
All right.
Or rather, into your power gauge from the attack discard pile. However, there are some attacks, some cards that do involve it. So it's not like those cards are like lost forever.
Okay. And then I think that is going to be it for this turn.
Okay. So then we'll move over to the cleanup phase. I have nothing to put on away, but you can take your 2 attack cards and put them into the attack discard pile.
There we go.
All right, so it is my turn. I have 5 cards in hand. I will replenish up to 6. I will re-put up fetch. And I... You know what? I will choose not to put anything in my into my power gauge. It is an optional.
Okay.
I will activate the first ability of Scrapyard Scraper, which is I will deal 3 damage for every Scrapyard minion on the field. So that is 6 damage directly to you. Alright. And, you know what? I gotta keep up the pressure. I will activate Fetch's ability, and I will gain my scrapyard. I will gain a Scrapyard minion. And take a shot every time I say this. I don't have any attacks to play, so I will pass the turn to you. And Fetch's ability activates that as 3, 6, 9 damage directly to you.
Okay. Brings me to 70. All right.
We're doing it.
We're doing it. All right. And then
All
the
right.
replenish phase.
Yep.
I draw these 3 cards. All right.
And you may take a card from your hand or from the attack discard pile and put it into your power gauge. You have 2 lights. Now, if you have 3 light, 3 medium, 3 heavy, let's say you don't have that golden card in your hand, you may flip all 9 of those cards over, so 3 light, 3 medium, 3 heavy, to search your deck for an ultimate, put it into your hand, and then shuffle your deck afterwards. So that's a way to kind of cheese it out, but you use a lot of resources to make that happen.
Yeah. Okay.
Alternatively, let's say you were to play an attack card. You would take some matching ones, and you could flip them over. So for everyone that matches that same attack type, you increase it. So like, let's say you were to play this light kick at the time, and if you had both of these out at the same time, that 4 could turn into a 5, 6 if you were to flip those 2 over. So there's many uses for it.
Okay.
But a lot of my players I find typically use it to build up to their ultimate.
Yeah. Well, I'll try that. I'm gonna send this heavy card over into power gauge.
Okay. We're building it.
We're building it.
Okay, now I'm actually nervous. Because I know what that means.
All right. and then so like the utility counter cards. If your 3 basic utility zones are full, can you play them?
You cannot. They function as like your main way to push against your rival that isn't directly in an attack.
Perfect.
Unless you have cards that state otherwise, like, oh, you could put this in this zone instead.
Perfect. All right. Well, then I will spawn a scrapyard minion.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, and then I'll just I guess just in there. All right, and then that does 3 damage.
All right.
Gotta build up some scrapyard minions. All right.
All right. And since you have passed the turn, it is my turn now. I have 5 cards in hand. I replenish up to 6. You know what? Just to get things moving, I will charge using a grab.
Oh, you can do that? That's
Yes,
cool.
you can.
All right.
It's not necessarily advantageous, but there are cards that help you work with it.
Okay.
Which are in the second set, and I'm pretty sure we have some for sale at my booth right there.
Right.
I will join you and attach myself with a scrapyard arm.
All right.
All right. And say it with me, I have no attacks. So we will do 9 damage as per Fetch's ability.
Right.
I have 3 scrapyard minions. They do 3
damage
and
each?
up to 3. Yes.
All right. And then I already had 6 cards, so.
Yep. So you will skip that move directly to your charge phase.
All right. Then I will do. Interesting. So here's a question
Yes.
for you about this scrapyard arm.
Mm-hmm.
So the exact wording here, it says attach this to a character utility zone, discard 1 attack card, and if you do, target 1 scrapyard minion, and it gains HP equal to the base damage printed on the card.
Mm-hmm.
Can I do that whenever I want?
During your turn.
During my turn.
Mhm.
Okay.
Yep. Character abilities and stage abilities are activated during your turn, but stages can be activated.
And
However, there are some cards that do allow you to play during your opponent's turn, and it will state as otherwise.
and then the other question I have is,
Mhm.
is so they start with 25 HP. If they're at 25 HP and I use this, do they go above 25?
Mhm.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah, one of my players has gotten a minion to be, I want to say, 110 HP before.
Okay. All right.
It is disgusting.
Yeah.
But this was at an online tournament where shuffling your deck in time does not matter.
All right. We're gonna do. I'll try that charging with the utility card also. I
Okay.
think, and then.
It also helps empty out your hands, that way you can draw more resources later
Yeah,
during your replenishment.
yeah, that's what I was thinking here.
Mhm.
And then I'll do. I'll go to the. So there's the startup phase.
Mhm.
And is there another phase for me to play stuff after the attack phase, or does it go attack in?
It goes attack, cleanup, end. And cleanup's like when you just, clean up.
So I can't play anything there.
Mhm.
Okay, all right. Well, then I will.
We are teaching.
Let's see here. I will do Fetch's ability to spawn a scrapyard minion,
You got it.
and then I will discard a card to do
Okay.
that thing because I'm trying to get stuff out of my hand.
Okay. There are many ways to do
Yeah,
this.
And then I will do an attack phase.
Okay.
Where I'll do the Scrapyard Rushdown, which is remove as many Scrapyard minions as possible from my side of the field, and deal damage directly to my rival for each one removed by this ability.
Okay.
So I
So
remove 2,
that ability damage goes first, but I got nothing else to counter that.
It'll be 6
So
and
that
3.
is 9
Perfect.
total.
And then I'll do the cleanup phase.
Okay.
And
How much is it for the whole
that's it.
set?
For a whole set, like a complete set? There are ways to get that. I just don't have it right now. I think it's 320. Mhm. And that includes like all the ultras, all the promos, all the
Oh,
stuff.
that's awesome.
Mhm.
What about just to play the game?
Free.
I mean, like if I wanted to buy a deck of.
Oh, buy a deck. We have decks for sale right over there. We got ones for $9.99. We have event exclusive ones that are $20.
My other use card.
No.
What comes in the exclusive?
It comes with one character, one stage, and a pre-built tournament-ready deck. Yeah.
Oh, it's just cash card or
Cash your card.
cash your card? Oh,
Mhm.
okay. Yeah.
All right, I have replenished my hand. I'm not gonna lie to you, none of this looks good. None of this looks good.
You made it.
I did from head to toe.
That's awesome.
I will charge with a backdash. Those were the only 2 attack cards I have drawn this entire so
my gosh.
far. It has been disgusting. You know what? Say it with me.
I have no attack.
I have no attack cards. I will move over to my end phase.
That triggers the minions.
Yep, 9
Alright.
damage.
All right.
I could theoretically do damage to myself with the scrapyards, but
That doesn't make sense.
for me it's like that would give you more resources, and I don't. If you decide to discard, and I don't want to give you more resources. So.
All right. So that phase. Oh my gosh. Well, we'll put this in the power gauge.
Okay.
And then we will spawn a scrapyard minion.
Okay.
And then I will discard an attack card. And then call it done from there.
All right. I will take 3 damage.
Alright.
All right. Please. Just a gentle sigh. I will charge with a jump. None of this looks good for me. And you know what? I'll move over to my. I have. See, and this is what I mean by you can accidentally dupe yourself if you don't leave your resources open, and I just did that. It's a rookie mistake. Rookie
no.
mistake.
Rookie mistake. Alright. Well, I will charge with a jump.
Do it.
Alright. And
Charge
then,
jump.
And then I will spawn a scrapyard minion.
Let's do it.
Alright. Away we go. And then I'll
Do the same.
use your phrase. I have no attack cards, so.
How much HP are you?
I'm at 43.
I'm at 46.
Alright.
I'm like, I'm
Even-
sweaty. I'm
Even
sweaty.
even getting me with those minions.
The gods have smiled upon me for like a second. I will charge with a jump just so I can remove crap from my hands. Now, I would say it with me, but we finally move over to my own attack phase. I will activate Scrapyard Blade. I will destroy as many of my Scrapyard minions I control as possible. Deal 2 damage directly to my relic for each one removed by this way. There's 2, 4, 6 damage directly to you, sir. And if I destroy 2 or more minions with this ability, I will target one of your Scrapyard minions and destroy it. Now, you may choose to block, or rather choose to counter the Scrapyard Blade with a counter utility, counter attack, if you have it. Or another mechanic that I could teach you. This is actually a good opportunity. So, like, let's say I'm playing a light attack.
Okay.
If you have 2 or more light attacks, or a card that has an ability that's like, oh, if this is in your power gauge, blah blah blah, all that stuff, you can flip those over and turn that into a 0. But it's only 2 damage, so it's less, not as advised.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, in this situation.
And that's called parrying.
Yeah, in this situation, that's good. But I'm gonna go with playing one of my 4 utility cards in my hand.
Oh god. We will turn that 2 into a 0. That's
All right.
A-okay. I do not have any other attack cards I will play, so we will take everything from our basic utility zones. That is not a minion. That includes your jump. Goes to the general discard. Yes. And anything in the attack goes into the attack discard pile. Just before the phase ends, you can activate your character ability. It's anytime during your turn.
Okay.
I will do so. putting a scrapyard minion on the field.
And then it
Fetches
triggers
ability
again.
triggers
All right.
for 3 damage. We're playing Powerline Ultra, baby!
Alright. And then we do startup.
Yeah, I almost like screamed. like yes! Finally getting an attack.
Alright. Okay, so I'm gonna spawn a minion.
I got it.
Alright. And then I'm gonna go to the attack. Oh, I forgot to charge.
I will grant you a charge.
Alright.
For learning purposes.
Alright.
Normally in a tournament setting you can't, but for the sake of learning, we will add one.
Alright. And then I'm gonna go to attack phase.
Okay.
And I drew really well. So I'm gonna do pull out a whole big old combo here.
A whole rigmarole.
Whole just repeatedly kick you there.
So for that first light kick, I will counter using armored advantage. I reduce the final damage of the current attack in play by 10. That turns it to a 0. As for the second one, I will do the exact same thing.
Alright.
But I will take that 7 because it is more advantageous to take that 7
Okay.
than it is to not. There we go. And
So
now,
you have to respond in order?
Yep.
Okay.
But normally a lot of players just do it one by one. You can play in that order, but you respond in order.
Gotcha.
Yep. So it's
Alright.
not that it's ill-advised, it's just nobody else really does that.
Okay.
And now we will move over to the cleanup phase.
Alright. There we go.
All right. How much HP are you?
34.
Okay, well, I thought I was doing a lot better.
And then that's cleanup, and then it ends, and then the scrapyard minions.
Yep,
did
we'll
their
deal
6.
the 6. All right, and I just replenished my hand, and we will charge with a scrapyard blade. I'm gonna organize myself a little bit. You are allowed to organize your power damage. That can be manipulated.
Yeah.
Now, helps if she is untapped, but that's okay because I'm gonna tap her again anyway. It generates a scrapyard minion. Next, I will play the Scrapyard Scraper. I'll use its first ability to deal 3 damage for every Scrapyard minion onto the field. So that is 3, 6, 9, 12 damage to you. And I will move over to my cleanup phase. Okay. Actually, we'll move over to the... Did I say attack phase? I meant to say attack phase.
Yeah,
if I didn't. I will do... I will get started actually with a medium kick for 7 damage. Do you have a response?
Alright, Yes, I will backdash that.
Okay. I will play a heavy kick for 10. And you have no way to counter it, so you will take
10
that
damage.
10 damage.
Alright.
Go for it. And last, but certainly not least, I don't like that you have a lot of minions, so what we're going to do is we're going to do Scrapyard Blade. We're going to remove as many minions as from my field as possible to deal 2 damage directly to you. That is 4 damage to start. And since I destroy 2 or more Scrapyard minions, I will target one of your minions and blow it up. I guess it doesn't matter. And do you have a counter for the Scrapyard Blade? 2 damage.
Well, now I do. So we'll
okay.
go ahead.
There we go. And now we will move over to the cleanup phase. And the turn is, in fact, passed.
Alright.
And
We're getting
no
real
minions.
close to the end.
I'm nervous. This could very easily turn
4,
around. Not in my favor.
5. Okay. Sure.
When you say it like that.
Alright. Well, I will start with spawning another Scrapyard minion.
Okay.
Perfect. And then I'm gonna start with going to the charge. Well, you're gonna kill me.
I grant you a charge.
Yeah. I was gonna say you're gonna beat me next turn, maybe. Depends on how this goes. So we'll go. I got 8 life left. It's getting real close.
Oh man.
We're on the little red line here.
All right. We're in the
that's
danger zone.
Danger zone. Now we just got to get that perfect combo off, right? So we're gonna start with the sharp elbow.
response. 8 damage.
Uh-oh. Then we're gonna go with a heavy kick. And then another heavy kick.
All right, and I will take both of them because I don't have a response
All right.
for either. And do you pass your turn?
Well, yeah, I'm gonna go to the end phase and then the...
You deal 3 damage for every scrapyard minion you control. I
We
have
got
5.
it.
That turns me into a 0.
We did it.
You have won
We
your
did
first
it.
game.
All right.
Of Powerline Ultra.
All right. We've done it.
We now have had a taste
All right.
of how the game is played. My friend, how'd you feel about it?
It was interesting. I like it.
I'm glad.
Had fun. It takes a second to get used to like where everything goes and
Yep.
and what it is. And,
Much like with any game, right?
yeah. Definitely like once we started getting those attacks and counters, it started like really ramping up. I'm like, oh, this is getting fun. Let's go.
Yeah, it builds up.
Yeah. I can definitely see that like if your partner you're playing against here like doesn't have any attack cards, the game feels a little slow. But once the attacks start going,
Yeah, like
It-
once
it's
you're
like-
able to
it's
get
like,
it
yeah,
going,
let's
you can
go.
get it going. Yeah, man.
All right.
So that is a fast demonstration of the game.
Perfect.
Oh, wow. And perfect time, because that's